Hey everyone, how's it going? We're back again for another episode of New Windsor. Right now we're looking at the beachside area we built last episode, but this episode we're going to be working near here, towards the university actually. We're going to be building a really cool neighborhood and a big cemetery that I've been meaning to build for a while, so let's go straight into things. Alrighty, so one thing you might have noticed is that my roads are a little bit darker. So before I had really bright roads. So my asphalt texture itself is actually very bright. Like I've got a custom asphalt texture that I made that's in a local map theme that I'm using Theme Mixer with. So essentially, I've got my concrete texture which I made and my asphalt texture which I made. And those two textures are in a local file, along with the oil texture, which is, you know, the leaves brush that I use, and that's its own map theme, and I mix it with other themes using Theme Mixer. I want to complete that theme and make it a total, complete theme with all of the different textures, like cliff and stuff, but I haven't really made a map theme before, so I don't really know where to start on, those types of textures, because mirroring's obviously going to be much, larger of an issue there. So, yeah, definitely a project I want to do at some point, though, because I do want to release a New Windsor map theme of some sort. Alright, so here we are building this cemetery here. So, cemeteries are a big thing in and around Providence and really other parts of New England. You see them everywhere, like just massive, massive cemeteries. And I wanted to do something like that here. It ended up being a lot smaller than the ones that you see in New England, so the larger ones you see in New England, the larger ones you see in New England at least, but it is still a pretty large cemetery for the game, and it won't be the largest that I build. I will build a larger cemetery at some point, just for realism, but for now, this is what fit here, and I wanted to build a little, Main Street area next to it, which is actually what we'll do a little later in the episode. Cool little, commercial district is what we're going to be working on, because this area in here is an actual neighborhood, which I had not worked on before. It's sort of cut off from the other neighborhood near the university by the university itself, so it's, yeah, pretty cut off for now, and it will be surrounded by a lot of industry, not completely though, so yeah, I'm going to try to figure out how this area is going to work. It's still a work in progress, but for now I'm really liking it. It's right next to the rail line, as you'll see a little later, right where the rail line comes together and then goes across the river, so yeah, you saw the overpass area. But yeah, really big fan of this area because this cemetery is a pack that I've been meaning to use for a while. This is by Bach to Baroque, I believe is the creator, and it's just this massive cemetery pack you can check out on the workshop. I think it's just look up Modern Cemetery and you should be able to find it. I think it's just all in one pack, or maybe it's multiple separate pieces, but whatever it is, it's a very cool pack. So as you see here, I am using my typical set of autumn trees and stuff to detail. One thing I've incorporated a lot recently is actually the Park Life dirt path, the nature reserve path, as you saw over there. I'll just place them, because oftentimes, no matter where you are, there will be a dirt path going through. It's obviously not designed to be there, but it's where people walk, and yeah, that path is really good for that, and there are obviously 3 versions of it, so that helps a lot as well. But yeah, overall, these trees, I'm just trying to get, a diverse array of trees in here. Obviously, I'm using lots of Mr. Mason trees and lots of Podelmo trees. And yeah, earlier on in the series, I was using very few, different types of trees. Now I'm using loads of different trees, like, it's really annoying, though, because obviously the density of the tree brush is not the best, so I have to place every single one by hand. So as a result, I don't really have that much time to go in and do ultra-detailed stuff, but that saves my prop limit, and I can just mostly focus my props on nature and stuff like that, like the dirt decals and stuff I'm placing. But all these fences are networks, which leaves me in a great spot. Like, I will not hit any sort of limit anytime soon. We'll have to be, near episode 70 or something to hit a limit, which is really cool. And I want to do some major expansion soon because the city is, it's big, but it could be bigger, and we need more residential. Like, right now our population is 17,000, which a lot of people complain about because it looks like a massive city, right? But yeah, we do need to expand, and just doing an episode where we expand as much as possible might be a wise idea. Alright, so here we are working on this Main Street area for this neighborhood. I don't know, I wanted to include this because I hadn't done a small town Main Street in a while, and a lot of the time you'll find, what looks like a small town Main Street nestled in near a downtown of a big city, and I decided to add that here. Thought it'd be pretty cool. And then I added, obviously, like this Arby's here. I added Dunkin' Donuts as well to appease the commenters. And once again, I'm using that nature reserve path behind them because I think it looks really cool, adds a lot of detail. work on this neighborhood over here. Once again, it's not a very unique neighborhood of any sort. I'm not really basing it off of anything. It's just the standard, outside of downtown, old commercial street type thing. The idea with New Windsor is I've got a bunch of different separate old towns that were sort of thriving little towns. Like a couple episodes from now, we're going to be working on the Portland downtown area, which will be an entirely separate downtown from the main city, and it'll actually be pretty well developed, but it won't be, as developed as the downtown financial district that we've got, obviously. Yeah, I like how decentralized New Windsor is. There's no, there is a main center, obviously, but there are a lot of also just other areas that were clearly thriving, unique communities in the past, but now not so much more integrated with the city. Like this is right near downtown, obviously, so it's not too set apart. But yeah, I think it's about time we start work on the final portion of the episode, which is going to start with an elementary school build on a hill. Really enjoyed this spot. I wanted to fit a school in here because obviously elementary schools are placed all over the place in, American cities, and they're not too much of a trouble to build within this game. So what I decided to do is place this little elementary school here, place a little basketball court in the back, and actually sink it down the decal so that, it's not bright blue or whatever. So it just fits in with the concrete, and it actually looks pretty solid. And I gotta add a lot more schools because there are a lot more schools in the world than the amount of schools that I add here in the city. So that's gonna have to get a little bit more realistic as time goes on. But and also I want to build another university. That's gonna happen. So yeah, you can definitely look out for that. Maybe on the coastline. That could be pretty cool, actually. But it's time for the final portion of the episode. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. It really does help out a ton and helps new people find the channel. Subscribe if you're new around here and want to continue seeing episodes of New Windsor. And Calaver Beach is on a little bit of a hiatus for now. It'll be back soon, though. Don't worry. I'm just trying to grind out some New Windsor. Next episode, we're going to be getting rid of the airport, so that's going to be interesting to say the least. For updates on that, definitely check out my Twitter, links in the description, and Instagram for my best screenshots. Links also in the description. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode.